We have it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Retail and CPG webinar. I'll share my screen so you can all see the slideshow that we have today. But you are joined by myself. My name's Corinne. I'm the Creator Community Manager here at Flowcode, and Georgette, who is the Customer Lifecycle Manager. We'll be walking you through the presentation today, just talking about how Flowcode can be used by retail brands and CPG companies. So here's just an overview of what we'll be going through. So one, custom codes, how you can use them, where you can put them, connecting with customers, so how you can leverage our features and capabilities in your day-to-day to really understand and connect with your customers. Three, activating in real life, getting your prints out into the world so that people can interact with them. And then four, interactive feedback. So if you stay till the end, you'll be able to tell us your brand, tell us what your business model is, and ask us any questions that you have. If you want our insights and our inputs, we work with creators and users on a daily basis. So I like to think that we are a bit of Flowcode experts and can provide you with any feedback. But one, custom codes. This is just a little stat. So over 4 in 10 people would actively improve their purchasing if QR codes became commonplace across hybrid retail models. So this is just showing you how important it is and how many omni-channel interactions you can get if you include QR codes. So people want that ease of use. They want to be able to engage, but not have to go out of their way to do it. So QR codes provide you that channel to do that in. And where to put flow codes. So you'll see here in the upper right-hand corner, we have some holiday codes. So we do have custom codes. You can access the pre-made templates in the generator itself, but with Pro and Pro Plus, you have access to artist design codes. So our team will take your brand guidelines, logo, and any other assets that you have and create beautiful codes such as these that they create for seasons and holidays. But again, it's just really a way to align with your brand and not have it be that generic black and white code. But different ways that you can use codes in your day-to-day are gift wrapping. So this is more apparent in the holiday season, but you can put it on wrapping paper. Georgette is running an event at our office this month, and she put flow codes repeating like throughout the wrapping paper, which is such a great idea. You can also add them onto thank you slips, stickers, gift tags, so you can really get creative with it in terms of the seasonality of it. You can also do direct mail. So if you're interested in, or you have a bunch of customers that you already have the information of, you can send it out in direct mailers saying sign up for our newsletter, or here's a 50% off code for the season, just as a thank you for being part of our community. Next, storefront. You'll hear us talk a lot about this, but window displays are big, especially during the holiday season. So just catching people's eye and allowing them to engage with your products, with your just in general your brand, rather than passing by it. We know you spend so much time and effort in creating those and making them beautiful, so really having like a call to action and a way for people to engage with them. Next is front desk and checkout. So you can easily have a table tent or something, just to have that seamless checkout experience, or for reviews. Takeout packaging, very similar. If you wanted to have a code on there, you could easily have it scanned to a review site. We know how important positive reviews are for you. So having someone's positive experience lead to that review could be a great experience. Then handouts, flyers, receipts, really just finding different ways for people to have that in front of their faces and interact with it. Next is signage outside the office or store. So getting that foot traffic and driving it right into your office or, again, retail space, just so you can, again, increase your brand awareness. And then holiday cards are always a good one. You could have it scanned to a video, a voice message, just really get creative and customize it and stand out from other brands. And I will pass it to Georgette to talk about what you can use flow codes for.
Awesome. Thanks, Corinne. And I know we had a couple of visitors joining late. Just want to take a moment and say welcome to the CPG webinar. Also kind of holiday themed too. Happy December, everyone. Awesome. So what to use flow codes for? I feel like this is such an open-ended question, and there is no PowerPoint long enough to list out every use case. But I think Corinne touched on this a little bit before, but using a code to scan to something where the consumer can give value, not only for them to gain value, but to give value to your business. And that is, as we know, positive reviews. I think many businesses, small and large, really rely on Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, Trustpilot, you name it. You can basically link a flow code to any of these and not just limited to these review sites. So I think that's pretty great. Also, from an events perspective, we know holiday events are coming around, company events. Maybe you have one coming up very soon, I'm sure, or any event in your life, basically, just having an opportunity to scan as soon as you enter an event, scan to either check in or RSVPs on invitations as well. So really unique ways to just kind of automate the process of RSVPs. I know traditionally speaking, when you send out a save the date or wedding invitations, you really have to rely and chase down your family members, to send that little card back in the mail. And definitely not a really effective way, to get your RSVPs. So that's also another example. Encouraging customers to sign up for your newsletter or to opt into marketing. We'll talk a little bit about this later on, but really keeping your CRM up to date, following really good CRM hygiene tips to make sure that you're always staying, fresh and healthy and getting new contacts and new leads, over time. And so scanning a code to either land to your maybe custom landing page on your site, or maybe it scans to a flow page, which is our version of a custom landing page. And then you can accumulate first party data from your customers right there. Also, fast and seamless shopping experiences. I feel like maybe this is one of the very kind of outside of just scanning a menu, but kind of first use cases of QR too, is just the idea of contactless payments, making things a lot quicker and easier for customers to access any collateral that you're selling. We've also seen this done at events where it's skip the line, scan my code, and shop some merch. So just another idea there. And then any interactive experience that you have, a really good example maybe is, if you have a pop-up shop, we know those are super popular, putting codes all around the pop-up shop, they can lead to AR experiences. I once saw a beauty brand, forgot which one it was during COVID, but they leveraged QR and even this online AI platform where you could walk through their whole online store because nobody could go in person. So, adding this effect could be really interesting piece of marketing for you as well. And then, of course, more operational things like displaying store hours, your office hours, any operating information, your contact details. The limit does not exist.
Great. And
Awesome.
I love what you were saying about creating that online experience, because really we pride ourselves in the offline to online, really bridging that gap. And the example you used about the in-store walkthrough during COVID was just, I think that's really creative, and it just shows you the power of QRs, how you can really think outside the box, and the limit really doesn't exist, like you said. So love that. But just showing you another product that we have. Before we hop into this, I do want to say, if you want, please participate in chat or Q&A. We'll be going over how you can leverage it for your own business. So if you want to provide context as to what you do, and if you're stuck, have any questions, pop those in there as we're walking through, and we'll address them at the end. But how to leverage Flowpage. So if you didn't know, we have Flowpage as a sister product to Flowcode. It's included in all of our accounts. It's essentially a mobile optimized landing page. And that essentially means it's just like a website that looks good on your mobile device, but it can be accessed on anything like a laptop or a desktop, anything that can access the internet, really. So you can show so many different things on here. It was really thought of as a way to be your digital ecosystem, because when you go to your website, there are so many different things that you can interact with. There's so many different paths that you can go down, but this just makes it easy to say, these are the 5 main actions that as a brand we want to drive and we want to encourage you to take. And you also don't need to know any coding, HTML. It's really just drag and drop, plug and play. So it's very user friendly. But some things that you can put on your flow page include event schedule and sign up or registration. You can easily have people register for your events through here, see your calendars, book meetings with you. So it really makes it seamless to do that. Similar to RSVPing for events, as Georgette mentioned, you can house that here. You can also show seasonal promos or discount codes. You can see here at the bottom of this flow page, a beauty brand showcasing their soap. So if you are offering seasonal promotions or sales, you can see like promo codes. And let's say you're selling in a retailer, but you're not selling all of your products there. You could showcase other ones in your flow page, as well as maybe some products that easily sell out so that they can easily order them online. Next is donations, so digitizing your holiday gift drive. This is a seasonal thing that I feel like a lot of brands are doing right now, is just donations, and a way to spur these and inspire your customers to give back during the season of giving is through Flow page. Next is highlighting reels or videos if you want to really showcase your brand and show all your products or your services or just anything. You can embed Vimeo videos, YouTube videos. So again, it's a different way to engage your customer and really connect with them and show them all of the ways that your brand can resonate with them. Next is sweepstakes, giveaways, or any chance to win a prize. You can see there's a holiday giveaway here, and Georgette will talk about this a little bit later, but it's essentially a way to collect customer contact information and for them to opt into marketing. Next are gift guides. So again, very seasonal, but a great way to showcase your own products or other services, and just give people some inspiration, because I know I personally and always like, what am I gonna get my mom for Christmas? My dad. So just giving people some ideas on what they can do. Products or services to purchase, again, calling out that little widget that we have to showcase all your products on your page. You can showcase 1, 5, however many you want. And then last but not least, social. We know how important it is to grow your following, and word of mouth marketing is so, so important, because you don't have to pay for it. So just being able to direct people to follow you on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., is very powerful. And going into our second section, connecting with customers, I will pass it off to Georgette to talk a little bit more about Flow page.
Awesome. Thanks, Corinne. All right, so Corinne mentioned this lovely feature included with Flow page called the CRM capture contact collection form. We call it a bunch of different names at Flowcode. I think it depends on what, kind of how you guys call it yourselves, but really what this form does is it allows you to capture first party information, which is something that you can't capture at the point of scan. So why that is that we are compliant with GDPR and CCPA privacy laws. So basically what that means is we're really protecting the consumer's personally identifiable information when they scan a code, because that person may not want to, opt in their contact information every time they scan a code. But then if they're presented with the option, they like your brand, this form kind of is a substitute for that and helps you get over that barrier. And so basically adding a CRM capture onto the Flow page, really easy process and a really great way to build your client base, especially before the new year, and kind of like refresh your CRM or refresh your customer database, knowing that we know unsubscribes are very common, inactive, maybe people not engaging or clicking with your content. So this is just another added way to add this to any of your marketing collateral. Maybe you haven't thought about it before. For example, if you're just sending out mailers or promotional content about, your product, maybe it's a new product launching and it doesn't exist yet. I've seen a lot of companies now put a code on the flyer that says like, scan to enter, and then you enter your information, and then that customer can either get a trial of the new product, or maybe just get notified when that product hits the market. And that can be used really across different use cases, but just an example there. Also great for giveaways. So Flowpage, also just to clarify, is not only accessible via code, but you can also put it as a link in bio. So I know that giveaways are super popular during the holiday season, especially. So having a link in bio where you click your Flowpage, this beautiful form comes up, you enter your information, and that's how you enter the giveaway. I think we see a lot of companies, do in the past, they've done the, tag your friend or tag a couple friends, which you could still do, and it's still great. But the odds of you actually entering that information into your CRM are, I would imagine, less than 1% of people. And it would be incredibly challenging to do so. So just think of that as a much easier way to grow your CRM. Also, just being able to integrate all of this amazing information into your customer database directly with Flowpage. If you use Salesforce, Zapier, HubSpot, Klaviyo, or MailChimp, these are the integrations that we offer at Flowcode for CRM integration. And let's say one of these is not included with your plan, or let's say you use a completely different CRM because there are hundreds of thousands out there, you can still easily download a CSV and upload this information. I see people do it once a week, every day, however often the cadence works for you. But you can upload that into your CRM, and then they can enter some type of like workflow where you welcome emails if you don't have this set up already, of course. So just kind of a great way to grow your community, and again, grow your customer database. Anything I missed there, Corinne?
No, I think it's great. You touched on everything, and really just
Perfect.
telling everyone that you can find this under the contact collection widget in Flowpage. We do call it CRM, but it is deceiving because I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what is CRM? So it's really just intuitive customer contact information.
Content collection.
Yep,
Yep.
contact collection. There you go.
Play 3 times fast.
You can't.
Awesome.
Next, just going into activating in real life. So we like to say getting your codes out into the world is the best way for you to become successful, and increasing the amount of entry points that people can engage with them will make sure that they're interacting with your social media and touching your flow page and everything that we've talked about up until now. But we do have a print store available so you can easily collect or connect your codes to these items. So things like seasonal posters, festive stickers that you can hand out on the street, put on communications, whether that's email, if you want to put that on your packaging, because maybe you want to test it out, see whether it's working, or maybe the placement you can adjust just before you actually put it on your packaging. Gift wrap, as we mentioned at the beginning. There are just so many different ways that you can hand out stickers. I know a lot of us in the office have them on our laptops, so your employees can also promote it. Coasters are a great way to have people in your office or retail space just again have access to that code if you want to provide them as swag for your customers so that they can also be your marketing marketers in a way. That's a great idea. Window clings, as we mentioned before, beautiful storefront displays should not go without some call to action or a way to engage, because you're missing the mark. People might walk by, think it's pretty, but not necessarily come in. We'll talk a little bit about this later, but just a way to enhance. You can see an example of one here. Scan to view the menu. Maybe someone just wants to peek at it, and once they see how amazing and delicious your food looks, they'll walk right in. A-frames, so just another way to get that in-store foot traffic from the sidewalk itself. And then flow tags, which Georgette can take away and talk about.
Thanks, Corinne. Okay, so so long are the days of paper business cards. We know that they are A, very expensive, and B, often end up in many landfills or at the bottom of your purse, like mine. So introducing kind of a new way or a new method to business cards would be flow tag. And that's really just an adhesive flow code for the back of your phone. And that is really what we do is we encourage you to connect your flow tag, to a flow page. And that really hosts any of your personal information on there. You can download your contact information directly. You can host maybe if you're a business owner and you want to promote your CPG brand, all the different links and products that you have. You know, it's a great conversation starter. My mom does it all the time. She's like, hey, scan my flow tag. And she has all of her business materials linked on there. And you can even then share that link with that person. So there's a lot that you can really do here. Easily share payment apps. So Venmo for tips, very common to, again, giveaways, building your pipeline or your CRM, connecting your social, your calendar links, and of course the brand awareness piece as well. There's so much you can do with flow tag specifically, and then flow page. So this is just kind of another extension of our product suite, but it's actually a super physical product too outside of the digital world.
Yeah, and we don't talk a lot about it in this particular presentation, but the data that you get from it. So you can see how people are interacting with your employees' flow tags if they're using them. So you can see the actual amount of engagement they're getting, which is really cool. And if it pairs with a flow page, you can really see that experience and where people are engaging, what they're interested in, so that you can curate it based on that data.
Love it. Thanks, Corinne.
Course. And then just going through some displays that we have near the office. We are located in Soho, New York. So there are a bunch of stores around here. So just showing you how we might elevate these using Flowcode. So as you can see, there's this beautiful window display, but here is a drawing. I know the stick figure is great. I wanted to represent that having these at eye level is really important, because then people can actually hold up their phone right to it and engage with it, rather than it being in the upper left-hand corner. You can still zoom in, but it does get harder and it's not as it doesn't grab your attention as much. Then you can see CTA around the border. This is the code. I know it's beautiful. It represents the
I love this. This is
well.
great.
And the CTA is basically the call to action. So really having that scan for this reason is so important, because people are intentionally interacting with codes. They want to see what's on the other side of it. So saying scan for a discount or scan to shop our products, see some lookbooks. I think that those are really great drivers of engagement, and then also purchasing power. You can see then what people are interested in. Scan education is obviously important. Maybe someone who's never seen a flow code or a QR code before is like, what is this? So having like, hey, use your internal phone or your native phone camera and scan this, just making it as easy as possible for them. Next, here is a beauty brand. You can see again that window display, but there's not really anything engaging in here. I'm like, okay, look, love Sleek. Sleek.
Sleek.
It's been a long week. Clean and sleek. That's what I meant to say. But here just showcasing, like, you could put a banner up. Really, the ideas are endless, but having a call to action again is really important, and making the code as big as possible, so that even though it's not as eye level, people can still point their camera at it and it can read the code. It's really important. So just again, utilizing that space, because you have the window, you have all of it. This beautiful photo of the product is there, but you also have your product showcased below it. So really maximizing your use of the space and really trying to, again, drive that engagement. Next, we have another window display, very minimal, which I love, but there are ways to elevate this with Flowcode. So you'll see my beautiful A-frame. It's a little bit hard to see because it's kind of skinny, but showing how you can have that code right front and center to grab the attention of those who might be a little bit more focused on the sidewalk ahead of them rather than looking into the window. So you can get, again, that engagement from the street and move it into your store. I also drew a little code on the floor, because some people really like doing the on-floor stickers, or just having, I know some people have done graffiti, just different ways to showcase your code. I think it's really, really cool. And again, it's does a similar action of maybe people who are looking down at the sidewalk see that and are like, oh, hey, like, I want 30% off for the season. Like, let me go in to check out this store. So just different things to think about and different entry points for that experience that you want to have offline.
Awesome. Now I know what you're doing on the way to work, and you're
Yeah.
touching all the window
I'm
displays.
always looking.
Yeah, I love that.
And now we're just going to have an interactive feedback session. So here are some examples of flow codes in the wild. While we wait, I know we have one question already in here. It asks, hiring in retail and hospitality is a big need. Flow pages might be used to help recruit. I wonder if it's possible to include text fields in the flow page that would include job titles and job descriptions. Georgette, do you want to take this? I saw you nodding your head.
Yes, I just jumped for joy. Yeah. Amazing question. So actually with the flow page form, and it's going to be built out almost as a form builder as well. But right now in the current state, there are two custom attributes or two fields that you can add. So in addition to name, phone number, email, you could put role or any other information like role, industry, years of experience as well. So really, really great point. And also just adds to the need. I know recruiting in retail is huge, especially for the holidays. I worked most of my career in retail too. So I know that there were not enough hands to help, working in the retail stores. So love that feedback. And definitely check it out. If you just click the contact collection form, you'll see as you're building the form, the two custom input fields, and you'll name exactly what you want them to say. And you can make them required too. So you can make it so that somebody who is submitting is almost forced to submit that information before they click send as well.
And then also just adding on to that, you can add in images, text boxes, you name it. We have so many different features on Flow Page that you can utilize. It's very similar to just a website. So being able to customize it, and we're constantly building that out. So you can also add in your brand by putting in background images, icon images, choosing what hex colors you want, and Google Fonts. So it can really be built out and again be that extension of your brand. But definitely ways to add in all that information for hiring. Love that question.
Awesome. I also want to call out like having a code, and again, Corinne mentioned it earlier. We don't really highlight it too much in this presentation, but outside of course, like building CRM and making it, easier for consumers to actually shop your campaigns, which we really couldn't do before on anything that was like a tangible piece of paper, essentially, or out of home campaign, but being able to also just track the activity, where people are in the world that are scanning, how many people, what time of day, adjusting creative types, also leveraging some like advanced features, especially for CPG. This is such a good example of like if you're a beauty brand and you have a campaign somewhere and during the day a user scans it and they're shopping at the mall and it links them to like a daytime routine, but then they're at night and maybe, they're doing their late night Christmas shopping, they're stressed out, and it links to a nighttime routine. So really, really, you could program your code basically to then redirect them based on the time of day of the week that they're scanning, etc. And there's going to be more advanced features rolled out for that as well. But outside of just making it easier for the consumer and just also being able to get that insight is definitely super valuable. In a really new territory, for a lot of people, including us. So
Yeah.
that's why we're always here to kind of act as consultants and help you guys out.
It looks like we don't have other questions. Feel free to keep popping them in, but really just bringing you to the last part of the webinar. So you can scan the flow code and it'll bring you to a flow page where you can submit for a chance to receive a $25 Starbucks gift card. You can also enjoy a 1-month free trial of Flowcode Pro. That includes things like getting your custom code, looking at more advanced data that we have. As Georgette mentioned, you can see a breakdown of traffic. So you can see what day of the week people are most engaging, what hour of the day, and what device types they're using. So then you can leverage smart rules and bulk code creation for all your marketing materials and other codes that you're putting out into different spaces. You can also join our Flowcode Facebook community. So this is a great way to connect and collaborate with other creators, see how they're using it. And then last but not least, you can create or you can submit for a chance to be featured in our creator spotlight, which is added to our newsletter and blog. just to show how you're using Flowcode and to highlight how you've been successful with it. So we'll give you another second to scan this, but really just wanted to say thank you for showing up. We know Fridays are tough, but we just want to equip you with all the things that you need to be successful and give you some ideas, because there's so many different ways that you can use Flowcode that having those things for inspiration is really important, and we want to make you as successful as possible. So thank you so much for coming. We'll be following up with a recording of this in case you want to share it with anyone, whether it's your team or any friends that you think that this would benefit. And yeah, Georgette, do you have anything else to add?
No, just thank you so much and be part of our growing community. And thank you for making and bringing Flowcode to where it is today. I'm always amazed to see it on your awesome packaging and on TV and campaigns. I have people texting me all the time. They're drinking something. They're like, "Look, it's a Flowcode."
Yeah.
So we love it, and I hope you guys are as excited as we are to use the product and be a part of our community. So thanks again.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Awesome,
everyone, for
and happy
joining.
holidays.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
guys.